Hi, my name is Mariah, and this is episode 3 of my 33-part series where I talk about the story of my life and my diagnosis with bipolar disorder. This episode is about birth order and sibling dynamics. I grew up in a family with 4 daughters. Episode 3, Sibling Dynamics, theme, Sibling Dynamics, year, age 3, 1996. My name is Mariah. It comes from Genesis chapter 22, verse 2. It's the mountain where Abraham was told to sacrifice his son Isaac. I was named after a place of near death, of surrender, of sacred turning points. And for as long as I can remember, 22 has been my lucky number. Not just because of the verse, but because when I was a kid, I used to say, 22 has 3 2s in it. 1 2 in the first digit, 1 2 in the second digit, and 2 digits total. That makes 3, so 22 is a cool number. I thought it was the coolest kid ever. 22 has always been my lucky number. I loved how perfect that felt. Like a secret code I could understand, like symmetry in the chaos. I'm the third sister of 4, and that detail matters. If you grew up with sisters, especially that many of them, you already know what I mean. I was sandwiched. Not the oldest, not the baby. The first got all the attention, all the pressure. The second got all the sympathy. The fourth got the softness, the grace, and the second chance. Me? I got awareness. I saw everything. I was the second child born after my mom lost to pregnancy, the one she always said would have been her son. She talked about him often. Not like a tragedy, more like a ghost we were raised beside. She'd say, "That was probably my boy." And I'd feel this quiet pressure settle over the room, as if our femininity was a failure, as if me being a girl was a problem. As if the very existence of 4 daughters was somehow a disappointment. We were each named from the Bible. My first sister's name meant matriarch, but her story was about waiting to be chosen. The second was named for grief and prayer. The youngest came from a woman who was overlooked, handed to a man who didn't want her. And then me, Moriah, the mountain, the almost sacrifice, the proving ground. We were 4 daughters raised inside a myth, and the mythology shaped us. One became the beautiful one became the brain, one became the rebel, one became the ghost. And sometimes we swapped roles depending on what the family needed. If one of us cracked, another one toughened up. If one of us cried, another one rolled our eyes. There was never enough room for all of us to be fragile at once, so we rationed it. I was the translator, the observer. I was good at reading faces, good at staying out of the way. I could tell which sister was going to get in trouble next just by how she was standing in the hallway. I became the keeper of secrets, sometimes mine, sometimes theirs. And I started to believe that silence was safer than softness. There were moments of joy, of course. Sleepovers in blanket forts that we built in the bunk beds, braiding each other's hair, singing along to songs that we all knew by heart because our parents played the CDs on repeat. But even then, everything was so competitive. Who sang it best? Who got to hold the remote? Who was mom proudest of that week? Who was the favorite? We were close, but we could be galaxies apart in how we were treated sometimes, and how we were compared to our cousins and our friends. And when you're the third of 4, it's easy to feel like a bridge, like you exist to connect the others, to absorb their conflict, but to keep things moving. But bridges get walked on. And eventually, even the strongest ones crack under the weight. Now as an adult, I'm still unraveling how it shaped me, how being the third sister made me hyper-aware, how it made me a people-pleaser, how it made me question whether I was ever truly seen or just convenient. I don't hate them. I carry them in my reflexes, in my sense of humor, in the way I defend myself before anyone's even attacked. But I also carry distance because to reclaim who I am, I had to separate me from who they needed me to be. So yeah, I'm Mariah. I'm the third sister. I'm the almost sacrifice, the scapegoat that came from the bushes so Abraham didn't have to kill Isaac. The quiet mountain in a house full of noise, and this is me finally speaking. That was a powerful one. That was episode 3 of 33. Episode 4 comes out tomorrow at 3:33 p.m. If you would like to donate, please visit mcoart.com, mcoeart.com. Thank you. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.